Hello and welcome back. This is I Seen You Before in another episode of What Do We Know So Far About Dominions 5. And together with me, I have once again Sam. How are you doing, Sam?
Yeah, we're going over pretenders.
Yeah.
That's
On this
good.
episode, I was thinking that we could have put strategic map together, but I think the changes in pretender design is large enough for both me and Sam to discuss at least a good 15 minutes. So I won't make them into a two-part episode. I'll just have pretender design on this one. Then we'll have a look at the strategic map and all the incoming changes to the features that we already know. So one thing I was talking behind camera with Sam is this is very interesting. Some nations gain extra magic for the Pretender, plus 2 Earth for Agartha, for example. These 2 extra points don't count for the minimum points needed to obtain a Bless. Therefore, if you invest to Earth 2, you gain Earth 4, but you won't unlock any Earth Blesses. That means you'll need to be at Earth 6. So, one thing me and Sam were talking about is, for me, I was not sure, just for an example, if you take Agartha, let's say it's the new one right now. If you take the Earth made flesh and he starts already at Earth 3, he gets to Earth 5 automatically for free. My question was, does he even unlock the minor blessers that he started with at Earth 3? And talking with Sam, we established that probably what happened was at Earth 3, when you select the god, let's say that's right now, you don't look at the design points. He starts at Earth 5. The blessers for Earth 3 will be unlocked, but not the blessers for Earth 5. And you will need to manually add an extra 2 points, which in-game will make him Earth 7, but during creation will unlock Earth 5 blessings. I think I summarized it pretty well, right, Sam?
Yeah. The only thing we don't know is whether this is boosting, like the magic booster items, or if it's something else, like it actually is adding pats like empowerment. And that matters because if it's like empowerment, that means you don't actually need pats. You
Exactly.
don't actually need a single pat into it.
In the example that we're picking in the Anuki of the world, if that is not a path boost, which means in the condition that the pretender needs to have Earth in order to get that boost to Earth, it will just add a +2 to their Earth right now, which will make her Death 3 and Earth 2. Just to picture something like that, it will be really good because right now it will cost you about, let's see, 60 and then 76 design points to add a 2 to Earth. But then again, I think the key wording is, no, actually, that's one thing I know. I'm not sure about the wording again. Some nations gain extra magic buff for the pretender. That's the question I'm saying. Like the logic of a phrase here. Does it mean that nation for any pretender will get an extra magic buff? Or does it mean one specific nation with a specific pool of pretenders? That's what I don't know as well. And that's why I keep looking at that wording. Some nations, which mean in specific some nations, will gain the extra magic buff for the pretender. So that technically implies any pretender, right?
We don't know. I would just say we'll just see what happens.
Exactly. But that's one thing everyone should just think about. Leave us a comment about what you think about this option because I think it might be a translation issue again, just like the research, like we found out earlier. Like the research is just that queuing will do the splitting for you automatically. You can still technically research 2 schools at the same time. It's just a translation error. What they meant to say was you can't research 2 schools at the same time by splitting your research, but you can put, for example, conjuration 1, alteration 1 in the queue. If you have 100 research points, the game will automatically complete conjuration 1, then complete alteration 1 for you. I think that's exactly what the
Yeah,
change is, and it's a good change.
yeah. It's a it can help you just set up your research build at turn 1 and never worry about it.
Exactly. You know, it happened to me pretty often where I would just end my turn and forget about changing research and just bleed in or bleed out. I think that's a good change. It's gonna help optimize everything. It's a bit of an automation. Yeah, it's an automation, just like they automized taxing. Well, they technically removed taxing.
Taxing was a bit annoying to deal with.
Yeah. There is a random starting research option based on magic or drain. However, there's also an option to turn it off. I don't know what this means. I think it's part of... I don't know.
If I had to guess, maybe you start out with certain spells.
Starting research option. I think it gives probably a few advantages and a few disadvantages. Some of it is gonna definitely... Something's gonna have to do with research points here.
Yeah. It doesn't tell you enough. That
No.
flat out.
Now, a few new things that we have a new Archmage pretenders right now. They're all Dominion 1. Most of them have a power of cost 10. So the first guy will have a Grand Hierophant, which would be... Let's see. I think that would be Arcoseph. Or do we have an actual Hierophant?
I think so, yeah.
Where is he?
Oh, maybe not. Oh, they'll add him in. You know, I always think we do, but I think that's a hero, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
We have a Hierophant hero.
Right. So he'll just be a good researcher. I think he will be similar to the Great Sage. He will have Adept Researcher of plus 20. He probably
Yeah, but he doesn't have inspiring research.
He will not have inspiring research, but he will have Astral 1, Fortune Telling, and he's 10 points cheaper than a Great Sage.
He sounds like a really good nation for early magic research.
Yes. But I hope they'll buff rainbows, you know, because there was... I wonder how it's gonna turn out, since the game is gonna be about big blessers. Does that mean that rainbows carry a lot of utility blessers around with their low magic buffs? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
The question now.
We'll have to see how they balance and how many sacreds they have. It would be a real shame if if the game pushes sacreds and only like 5 nations have good sacred, have easy access.
Yeah. But I think this time the developers, from what I've heard, they're working actually with players behind the scenes for the balancing. So let's keep our hopes up for it. What I'm hoping is that they improve the AI in the sense that it's not the classical let's just throw money at the AI, but rather let's make the AI smarter and actually try to exploit the player.
Yeah, and they did do some decent work near the end of Dominions 4.
This is true. We got surprised several times when you saw the AI running around with a nerf snake or with a major blast. I was surprised. I was even dumbfounded.
Of course, it used them terribly, but it's thought that counts.
The thought counts. At least they listen and they fix the pretender creation. It probably must be hard too. They must have researched what the players use as their own pretenders in order to have an idea. We should move on.
And again, you just need to look at like 3 games to figure out that Earth Serpent is good.
Yeah, but the Earth Serpent is a special case. I think it's a noob friendly serpent.
Well, except if you pick them with Cold Nation, then you're
that's
done.
the number 1 weakness. Otherwise, we're gonna have a great Hydromancer, which will be a Water 1 Archmage, giving you 1 Water gem a turn. Will be Amphibian. Most water nations and some land ones will have him. I think this will be a variation of a Great Enchantress, where he will spawn 1 water gem a turn. I'm hoping he will be cheaper than 90, because the Enchantress is still a rather strong pretender because of simply she spawns Astral Pearls per turn. And as always, she's also a great rainbow.
He sounds pretty good depending on what you need. I find him another one that will help you get into underwater faster. Get you underwater faster.
Logically, they should have given him water breathing, no?
I think the point is he stays at home and he can forge like a ring of water breathing every 5 turns.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I
He
mean,
has.
I thought no, actually, we do have water breathing in a few other blessers, right? And it's pretty low.
Yeah, I th- I think he'll be fine.
I think Rainbow Mages will be basically heading for one minor bless of their first pick. Like, they could get the water bless right there, put them at water 4 in the end. I mean, not the
I
water
think
bless, the water breathing. Same
I
thing with
think
Astral, they can get the minor
yeah.
Astral weapons.
I'm
This.
pr- I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that Rainbow Mages will just be the blesses where I don't lose immediately.
I think the Rainbow Mages will be stronger in the mid game, It looks like Rainbow Nations will be able, Rainbow Mages will be able to take blessers that need the skills as well because they won't need that high of a magic buff.
Well, I don't know about that. I find that they're probably going to be just stacking many minor blesses, so
Yeah, they will, but most of the time when you're playing a Rainbow, you tend to have beneficial skills, right?
sometimes matters on the nation.
For me, most of the time I end up just putting the Rainbow on dormant when I have some skills. When his job is just to side search the second year, but I don't know. I think maybe Rainbow Mages will get some play in Pretender design. I think they'll say us about this and they actually listened a bit. Because let's say
Um,
Dominions 4, the Titans did get a nice buff and they became fairly usable. Wow,
Dina
fairly.
is well, it's mainly like one Titan.
That chick and that guy. That chick and that guy.
Yeah, pretty much those two were the ones that
And that really
just won
niche
out.
dude. The really
He,
niche guy.
he's getting better. You saw he gets the helm of invisibility. Actually makes him invisible now.
Yeah. No, apparently he's already invisible.
Yeah, but now he's gonna get the buff invisible, where everyone gets -10 attack
Yeah, he's gonna
against
be
him.
even more invisible.
It's like I kill you all time.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Then for Chen-Chi, we have a monster at S1 flying ambidextrous. I think
You
he's
can
gonna
do it.
be a flying side searcher if that's the
No,
only thing I can picture him
no,
as.
no. He will make him into Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah, you saw that.
We'll
Yeah.
give him chi shoes.
Maybe I'll make a let's play with Chen-Chi where I turn my pretender into Bruce Lee. I do that when I'm really bored.
um, but in all seriousness, it could be fairly useful, especially in
Flying.
yeah, the flying is very useful. He could be pretty powerful in EA Tenchi.
Definitely think he will.
He,
Um,
he can have a flying army basically. It's
yeah,
pretty
and
powerful.
especially that a low level of Astral is needed for the buff nowadays.
Yeah. Aphroy Sage.
I have no clue what this is.
This I think that's Oceania.
What's an Afroy? I don't even know.
It's the lobster centaurs.
Oh. Well, okay.
It's-
Good to know.
I don't know. Oceania, it's not a nation that interests me. So far, they haven't won me over.
There's gonna be a new Middle Age Atlantis only pretender? The God King
Wait,
of
don't
the
they
Deep?
already? They have one already. Let's check. I think it's a Seer of the Deep, though. So I wonder what's the difference going to be. Yeah, he's at the bottom.
Hmm.
I wonder what the difference is going to be. Is he going to be an Atlantean, so he's going to be bigger and maybe possible thugging?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Because they're very similar pats, except that one costs a bit more. So I don't know.
I have no clue, man. No idea. No idea. I don't really play
Oh,
Atlantis.
I play Atlantis sometimes. They're pretty cool. We have the last one, the Magister of the Deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
Or
Phoenix right.
Magister Supreme.
It's gonna be Phoenix right. Yes.
He's got Air 1, Siege bonuses, Mason, and he's Late Age Man only, so.
Yeah. So he's one of the only pretenders that's gonna make use of a new Mason ability, which we will talk in the next episode, because the way forts are built have been changed, and it changed a few other things like recruitment. So just hold on until the next episode for this one. And yeah, I think he definitely has air, which is what man always has, and low power, so he can get the combinations and plug in all the basic boosters. But late age man is already strong by itself as a late age nation. And the only thing interesting here is that you have Mason, so you could upgrade your fort potentially, and depending on how the new recruit system, that might be a smart move to do on turn 1. So I don't really know how the new Dominions 5 is going to be.
Okay. Dominion 2 disciples no longer pay for Dominion. They're about 40 points cheaper.
Yeah, so that basically means that... Oh, what? Yeah, those pretenders like the Bull, the Hooded Spirit, the Hood of... the Hound of Hate, Man-Eater, even the Dragons. Yeah, all the way, like all of those, including the Virtue, will now be 80 points cheaper.
It's kind of... I would say a lot of the Dominion 2 pretenders didn't kind of need to be buffed. That was not exactly something I thought they would ever need.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay.
Because it's like, 40 more points for
why
magic as well.
Why not?
I guess maybe it'll work with the new Pretender Blesses inbound. Maybe. I think Disciple games are going to be a little bit crazy, though.
Definitely. I think it's just going to give more power to the Disciples now.
Disciples is like... It's not going to be... I think Disciple games is going to be all about the Disciples now at this point.
Yeah. And Asian Dragons have gotten a buff. They have... No, Western Dragons. No. So that means the European Dragons now have Dragon Master, which is... That means they didn't move Dragon Master from the research tree, but they knocked it down off to starting with it. I have not really played with Drakes, so I don't know how.
I hope they change them, because I hope they rebalance them, because they were kind of not so useful.
Yeah. And then the next up thing is that the Asian Dragons now have a Pearl.
This doesn't seem super strong for me for the Pretenders, but it sounds very strong for like late age Jomon, because they summon dragons.
They summon what?
Late age Jomon summons dragons. They recruit dragons, so they can get a lot of these Asian dragons, and if they all have that pearl, it's going to be impressive.
You think it's all Asian dragons or just pretenders?
I'm not sure. I know that I know at the very least the Ryujin we went over that had the pearl. So
yeah, in his law it says he has a pearl, right? It's his source of his power. Yeah. Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see if all of them have pearls.
Definitely.
That would be hilarious, and would actually make the Have you ever used the Tatsu before?
No.
That's like a 2-path random dragon that you can summon as Jomon. It never really saw play. For obvious reasons.
I think I did use him. He's not very useful.
It matters a lot. If you could pick his paths, he would be more useful, but you can't, so he's a dice roll. where you could just recruit a Ryujin.
And I think one other change that I really like is that they brought percentage discounts back.
Oh yeah, it's no longer stuck to the one random.
So the Forge Lord doesn't have that stupid just -2 forging. He now
He's
has
better than he's better than a
20%.
master smith.
But the question is, the 20% now, is it gonna stack with the forge bonus of the Dwarven Hammer? And which order does it reduce, right? How does it round up?
I think there was a way to use it in Dominions 4. You had to get the no, not the artifact, the
the global.
The site.
The global and the site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it went percentage then the reduction. So
percentage first, then the reduction. Good.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, if you didn't remember this, I've seen you before, but you can't heal his limp.
You know, I did it with Gift of Health.
Oh, in Dominions 4?
I think so.
Oh. Well, you can't heal it with healer anymore, at least.
I remember at one point you used to be able to.
That was pretty powerful, I'll be honest.
Just like heal him, like, okay, he's all good, he can fight again. It's like, I'm not limp anymore, lol.
He was actually one of the best pretenders in Dominions 3, I think, because of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can just heal his limp, he's just a super combatant. And he can forge his own equipment to fight.
That's true. Then next up is there's gonna be a small changes on most of the scales. On the first scale of Order and Turmoil, first things first, that the income was heavily nerfed by 3%, and rest reduction stayed the same. It also affects recruitment points now by 10%. And what? 2% resources now. Wow. -2% events. So the Turmoil and Order has gotten 2 additions, which is the plus 10% to recruitment points, plus 2% to resources.
Massive nerfs.
And yeah. 1.
2 in the events.
It's the same.
Oh, it's the same? Oh, whatever.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh yeah, it's the same. Okay, so they just got 1 massive nerf, so
yeah,
that's a pretty harsh one though.
Oh, they moved it a bit. They moved 1% up to income on production. Okay. I guess I will try to demotivate people going slough too. Yeah. Since it will be... Let's see. So... that means I'm losing 2 points to 6. So this will be 6% less.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant minus. They also increased death and growth and death.
Oh.
That's now that's the biggest one now.
Yeah, it got increased 1% income and nerfed 5% supplies.
Yeah, but the income was the big thing about growth.
Yeah, now it's even bigger.
That kind of hurt it, and now it's the default money scale.
Yeah, we'll give you plus 12% income, 40% supplies. Yeah,
which I guess can help for Abyssia to an extent, because they can just go death and they don't experience the income malice.
Yep, and I think they're trying to rebalance the income, but in the process we might have overly nerfed Order. But
well, we don't know how useful recruitment points are. So.
We don't know how the recruitment points work, so...
For all we know, Order could still be the strongest scale.
Yeah. Luck and... Oh. So Luck has basically been nerfed too. Misfortune and Luck has been nerfed. Okay, I'm back to doing that all the time now. So Magic and Drain. It's unchanged. Yeah, unchanged. Magic and Drain remains unchanged.
I wonder if they did that because they're worried about Yomi overwhelming everyone. Because maybe they're thinking Yomi got too strong.
No.
That's that way they nerfed Luck, because you would typically go Turmoil 3,
No,
Luck 3.
I think nations that already had really strong sacreds like Raga is gonna really be strong in this iteration.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it could. I wonder if they rebalanced like how sacreds are. Wonder if sacreds are more plentiful in general.
I sure hope so, man.
I would really hate this for this game to be the Raga game.
Yeah, that would be horrible. Let us move on. So we were wrong basically, and aging doesn't stop aging. It slows down aging to a quarter of a pace. So people are
Oh,
80% less likely.
that's well. At least it's a way to stop burden of time.
Yeah. Some pretenders have gained disease resist, like Raven or the Dog. Where's the Raven?
Oh, that's actually pretty nice considering they added those terrible sites that give you disease.
Oh, right. We did?
Who came up with that? Who came up with the disease sites? They're so mean.
Yeah, it's gonna be horrible.
But
Dragon gas does more damage because it has and also has the lingering effect now. Basically, the lingering effect, like I explained before, will leave a cloud on the battlefield and will deal damage accordingly.
it's kind of nice, but the problem with dragons is that they don't usually stick around. They fly all over the place.
Yeah. Unless
So I
you
don't know
order
if
them
the
to fire first or attack then fire.
Yeah, I would say the lingering gas might be okay, but I would say the damage is the biggest thing. Definitely.
Yeah. Well,
Not
I
for
think that should be it for Pretender design. We actually talked for a good 27 minutes here.
Okay. That's
Yeah, I think we can probably wrap this up. Next up, we'll be looking at the strategic map very soon. That should be it for the episode of What Do We Know So Far about Pretender design. That being said, if you guys have any opinions and comments on a few of the changes, maybe your interpretation of some of the change logs, do leave us a comment below. Give us a like, it really helps the channel out to grow into a bigger one, and I can just produce more content. That being said, thanks for watching everyone, and see you soon.